What's good? God is good. I'm your host, Jay Did It. Welcome to Thursday Therapies, a podcast for all creatives, writers, rappers, poets, artists, activists, Sacramento community therapy session. Today, I have Jakhari Smith, a talented, versatile rapper hailing from Sacramento, California. Jakhari started his music journey July 2021 after losing his grandfather in April 2020. He began journaling daily, turning that into a passion for poetry and song structure. Jakhari has been honing his craft and captivating audiences with his unique delivery and powerful lyrics. Drawing inspiration from personal experiences and social issues, Jakhari's music is a captivating blend of raw emotion and thought-provoking storytelling. His ability to connect with his listeners through his authentic and relatable content sets him apart in the competitive world of hip-hop. Throughout his career, Jakhari has released a vast collection of music, including 2 albums, 2 mixtapes, 2 EPs, and 1 live album. He has achieved many milestones, such as being included in 2022's NPR Tiny Desk Contest standout entries with his submission for his song Far Away, and has performed on many Northern American stages and events, including Harlow's Concert in the Park and SMUD Museum of Science and Curiosity, just to name a few. Jakhari believes in using his platform to make a positive impact and inspire change within self. Jakhari remains dedicated to delivering impactful and unforgettable performances, and his commitment to leaving an inedible mark on the world of rap and beyond. Welcome. Welcome to Thursday Therapies. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad you're on here. I've been talking to you about this for a couple months now, and I'm like, I need to get you on, but it's been pretty hectic, and trying to schedule with you with your hectic schedule. I see you got so many shows going on. I'm glad you took the time out to come on here. Thank you.
Of course. I love the space, and I'm glad to be a part of this. It's like balancing. So trying to find that balance of everything, the scheduling, like with work and everything. So I'm glad, we made it happen.
We made it happen. So how's your week going?
It's been good. Just been working on new music as of late. A lot of planning and a lot of behind the scenes kind of stuff. Really I like to plan way further in advance. And just really set myself up for success.
I love that.
Procrastination and me, we do not blend well. So if I wait too long to do something or keep pushing it off, it's when the time comes and I need to lock in, it's all over the place. So yeah, really just getting my stuff in order. And
I like that. I need to take some notes. Because it's we got so much going on, and we're out here in the hustle and bustle and struggle, and really just trying to find that balance and still continue to create. But sometimes things sneak up on us, and then you got to put it in full gear and get going, you know? So, no, definitely. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Like I said, this is Thursday Therapies. It's a discussion on mental health. So I just want to ask you some questions, get your story, behind mental health, and just let the listeners know a little more about you. Cool. So my first question is, what does mental health mean to you?
Mental health is it's the well-being. For me, I feel mental health is the well-being of the individual. It's the mental well-being of that individual. How are you feeling? Deep down, in your soul. Day to day. What is cloudy?
Right.
What is what's bothering you, what's feeling good, there's good and bad to it's a different space, because you have to find out sometimes things aren't always bad, sometimes things aren't always good, so it's kind of what is going on at that moment, at that current time, and mental health, it balances, like I said, it's day to day. Some people they deal with things it might be a prolonged period, but it's a day-to-day battle for a lot of us. And mental health is that well-being of like trying to, you know, get your mind clear and like
Right.
staying on that right path. So
Right,
yeah.
right. Like trying to find healthier things
Yeah.
to fill your mind or
Yeah. Like
yeah.
keep your mind clear, like, you know, cuz with life and like, you know, so much going on, distractions, like things can get like all over the place, and like for me, like that's when like things like the dark starts to like seep in.
Mm,
When I just feel like there's no like clarity, there's no like, you know, like where am I going,
right.
like what pathway do I take, and like, you know, for me it's like mental health is everything, because mental health, like it affects my energy levels, it
Yeah.
affects, it's
Yes.
everything. So it's like if my mental isn't right, then like there's nothing I can give, you know.
Right.
That's at least that's what I feel. So like, you know, I try to like make sure I, you know, keep my mind on the clear as best as I can, you
Right.
know. So yeah.
Dope, dope, dope. I love the way how you put that because it is. It's like a roller coaster, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The good days, there's good days, there's bad days, and I say that because like I've been diagnosed with depression and anxiety, and I've had it since I was young, but after my mom passed away, when I went and was seen by my therapist, she said severe depression and anxiety, and it's just like it was up and down because that's exactly how I felt. Like there was some good days because I have to get up every day, I have children, so I got to make sure I'm up and, you know, really trying to put on that happy face, but at the same time there's a lot of dark days, you know, and then you can spiral out of control, spiral in the dark because, you know, you're things are going on in life, and like you said, those dark days, you don't want to let them take over. You want to continue to have those positive outlooks and try to keep your mind clear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dope. Dope. So when did you become aware of mental health and how old were you?
I would say honestly, like growing up, you know, I've always like my family is very close, very tight knit. My grandfather, like, he took care of everything for us, you know. So, like, we didn't really have like many worries. Like, we were always together, always looked out for each other.
Nice.
And I'm blessed for that, you know. And really, like, I never really noticed like anything like going on with me mentally until after, you know, after he passed, you know, which was 2020. I really like I felt things that I had never felt before. Like
Right.
I never like noticed before, mentally, and I just felt like those days I just didn't want to be here.
Right.
I just felt like I was wasting space. I was wasting like I felt I was a bother. I felt like, you know, there was no what's the reason for me being here, and like I never like grew up like with those thoughts. It was something like new,
Yeah.
and I didn't understand like where it came from, why it came so sudden, and like really like it just like out of nowhere, like, you know, like I remember just waking up like the day after, you know, because my grandfather, he passed at home,
Yeah.
so he, you know, he had his routine every morning. He would go to his like go in the living room, like, you know, had his like his chair that he always sat at, and like, you know, he would be the first person I would see in the morning, like waking up. And like I remember like just going in there and like he wasn't there, and you know, it's like knowing that like he'll never be there again. You know, it was just all these thoughts just started to, you know, fluctuate, and I started to like, you know, it was more like I started to look at myself. I'm like, you know, what am I living for?
Right.
You know, and like what is my purpose? What am I put on this earth to do? And that's like 2020 is kind of like where I kind of saw, you know, I kind of like recognized like, okay, something's not right.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I haven't, like, music was the therapy for me. So music is the way I was able to kind of like clear my mind, cause like I would lay down at night and so many thoughts were racing through my brain, and like I'm just like the world is just like clashing, you know, in my head, and like music was the only thing, like writing was the only thing that could help me like get what I needed to get out, and like get some of that out of there, so like 2020 was kind of like the first time that I started recognizing like something's not right, and like really like looking into like what mental health is actually.
Right.
Because I never really had to worry about that growing up. I had a great childhood, and so yeah.
Wow. So how did your family handle mental health issues in your home?
Like I said, like growing up, I had a great childhood. Like, my mom, like my family always like showed extra love, like over the top, and it's like they always like would encourage me and like my everybody in our family to like be the best that we can be, and like really like was always there. So it was like after losing my grandfather, he was such a pivotal, like important piece in our life. It was different for each one of us. Like all of our experiences, my mom, my grandmother, my uncle, my sister, like each one of us dealt with this new,
Grief
dynamic,
Yeah.
in different ways.
Right.
And like for me, it was like mine was kind of isolation. I needed to be alone. I don't want to be around all the time like everybody, but my sister, my grandmother, my sister is kind of like similar to how I dealt with things, but my grandmother, she was always with my grandfather, so she needed us to be around, and it was kind of a clashing, especially at first, because like neither one of us like knew how to deal with that.
Right.
I needed something completely different than what she needed to help.
Yeah.
So over time it kind of got easier to like recognize what we both need and kind of like adjust.
Nice.
So our family, like I would say the way that they kind of like helped with that is like that adjustment, recognizing that, putting others first, putting each other first, and like recognizing like, okay, this is what I need, but this is what my loved one needs.
Right.
So like, and adjusting to that, so that's kind of like how my family, like, how we stayed together and
Nice.
kept that family dynamic.
I love that. I love that because it's very difficult, when a loved one that holds the family together passes away, and it brings a lot of anger and animosity, and like you said, those different feelings that you really don't know that you have that come up, and some families just break up and don't ever really, they just each have their own ill feelings towards each other, and once that loved one that keeps them together and is always holding them together, they don't make it. But that's amazing how your family continues to thrive through this dark time, and just be there for one another. I love that. I love that. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm super grateful for that, because it's like without family, that's everything.
Right.
Family to me is everything, and like, it's what my grandfather would have wanted.
Right.
To see us like keep going, keep sticking together, like we all we got. So
that.
it's like at the end of the day, this is like, if there's no one out there, the world is against you, your family got you.
Right.
So that's like the main thing that like we really try to keep is like, it's us.
I love that.
It's us, and we gotta keep that bond solid and strong, and like whatever we need to do that, like we gotta make sure that happens. So like we really came together and like stepped into those, that loss will always be there.
Right.
My grandfather, he'll never come back, so we had to adjust and like fill that void, but it's always there, but it gets easier. It gets easier with time. You learn how to keep going.
Yes.
You learn how to like move on and like just try your best.
Right.
Day by day, it's a battle.
So outside of music, have you sought any outside support, therapy, or support groups, or church, or?
Um, Honestly, I haven't had a therapy session yet.
Okay.
It's an experience want to definitely have. I want to do it like this upcoming like coming up in the next few months.
Right.
Um, I've been this past year. I've always been the type of person to like push things away,
Right.
push things off. And I told myself like a few months ago, I'm like I need to like everything that's like on my mind, I need to tackle it head on. And I've done something I never did before, like just as simple as like writing out like my goals, writing out
Right.
things, and not even music related, like just personal. And like therapy is one of those things. It's something that an experience I want to have, and like understand,
Understand.
because like I said, a lot of the stuff is I would internalize it. Like a lot of stuff I'm going through, I would write about it, and I'll just like I'll hold it in, and no one would know what I was thinking about until the song was released or I shared it.
Wow.
So like there and it still is that. I haven't had that therapy session yet, besides like talking to my mom about
Yeah.
things, or one of my family members or friends.
Yeah.
So like I think the closest thing to that is my friends, my family.
Yes.
Those are like the people who I can confide in.
Right.
My closest friends, the people that I see all the time, and like it's more than music. Like I met a lot of these people I met through music and through this journey, but we've grown to be more than friends. I consider them my family.
I love that.
Those are the people who I can lean on and confide in, and vice versa.
Right. Yeah, no, it's important to have a good support team, somebody that you trust with your, true feelings. And you have some pretty heavy songs, to be able to express what you have going on with you through your music, but also being able to have that other outlet. And that's why I asked about therapy, because it's another good, healthy outlet just for you, but being able to speak to your friends is very good. Being able to speak to your family is very good, but it's just another tool in your toolbox, another support system that you can turn to, during your journey. It's always good. It's always good to have therapy. So I'm going to jump into a couple more questions. Mental health in your music journey. So you started journaling after losing your grandfather in 2020. How did that process evolve into songwriting, and what role did it play in your healing?
So yeah, after my grandfather passed away, I just started. I remember I had this notebook like sitting around, because my grandmother she always kept like a lot of notebooks for some reason, and I think she did something similar. We never like talked about it, but I think because she always had notebooks around. But I decided I went to like Dollar Tree. I got like a notebook, and I just started like writing, journaling myself, and like writing all my thoughts out. And from there, I decided to like do a lot of like research. So I was like the first thing that kind of like intrigued me. It was a lot of like curiosity, and it was like wondering like how does an artist who like is not signed to like a label, how do they get their music like on Spotify or like Apple Music? Like how do they actually like get it on those platforms?
Right.
And because it's not something like YouTube or like SoundCloud where you just hit an upload button, upload the song or video. It's something like how do they actually get it on there? So everything kind of started with a lot of research. I started like looking up, okay, distribution services. Okay, that's how that works. Okay, well, like how do I actually record a song? Like what equipment do I need? Do I need like what kind of microphone do I need? What program do I use to like add a track to it? And like so it was a lot of research, and I remember I found like this $30 like Amazon microphone, and I bought it, and then so like I just gave it a shot. I was like, you know what, let me let me like find. I was going on YouTube looking up beats.
That's dope.
And I found this program. Like there was this free like recording program called Audacity, and I would just like record everything on there. And like really, it was just taking that journaling that I started off like my raw thoughts. And then I was like, let me figure out like let me make this rhyme like, and then from that it was like let me turn those poems into like rap songs.
Yes,
rap,
I love that.
You know, verses and choruses, and like let me see how this all works and comes together. And it all kind of started from curiosity, and began recording myself. And like I never would have thought like it would have led to anything. Like it was just
That's
it was
amazing.
Just curiosity, really.
I love that. I love that for you. Yes, keep being curious because you're dope. I love it. I love it. I love it. So can you speak to how grief and loss shaped your outlook on mental health?
I would say like grief and loss is like, it's probably one of the hardest things that we all will have to go through. We all are going to have to deal with it in some way. And I think one thing about it is it brings a lot of us together with other people.
Yeah.
You know, other people like we can relate because we all have to deal with this.
Right.
You know, and I would say like loss has definitely like shaped how I view myself, how I view the world, and just how I view like my loved ones.
Right.
Like the people who are around mean the most to me.
Right.
And like really it's taught me so many lessons. One of the main lessons is that time is so short.
Right.
Death is going to happen to each and every one of us. And while we have the ability, while we have that breath in our lungs, we have to make it count.
Absolutely.
You know, none of us know what is after this.
Right.
You know, like we don't know like where this soul that is in this body, what's gonna happen with it.
Right.
You know, and it's some, you know, so it's like, wow, you know, I have like this breath in my lungs, this brain in my head, while I have the ability, do what I want to do. You know that, and that's something that my grandfather always told me. He always told me like I never like. He said the one of the things one of the biggest things I could tell you is don't look back at life with regrets. Like when you get older, like I just don't want you to have any regret. Like, oh, I should have did this.
Right.
I should have did that. Like you should look back at life and be like, yeah, that was fun. I remember, oh, I messed up on that.
Right.
I made a huge mistake when I did that, but I did it.
Learn from it.
I tried it.
Right.
I tried it out, and I learned from that. So that's kind of like the mentality that I have, like, am pushing forward.
I love that.
I'm trying whatever's on my heart. I'm gonna try it.
Yes.
You know, it may take time. You know, fear is a powerful phenomenon.
Right.
You know, fear holds a lot of us back. And it's, you know, that unknown. It's that unknown is what scares a lot of us.
Absolutely.
Like for me. But you never know till you try it.
Yes.
So that's where I'm moving. I'm going forward, and I'm like, I'm gonna just step out into that void, and you know, I may lose.
Right.
I may not. It may not be what I envision on that other side. But you know, how I know if I don't give it a shot?
That's dope.
You know, so that's one of the main things that like loss has taught me is like, it really not just loss, but just my grandfather. You know, because before he passed, like we had a conversation. He knew he was dying, so he talked to each one of us,
wow.
Like individually, and he always told me like, he said, because my grandfather, he never got a chance to see like any of the music thing.
Yeah.
I didn't even start it when he was still here.
Right.
But he just always told me, like, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever passion you grow into, like, give it your all, and like, don't look back with regrets.
Wow.
That was his main thing. Like, he didn't want. There was so much stuff that he told me he wished he did back in the day, that he never got a chance to do, and he was like, just do it. He was like, don't even think twice. Just do it.
That's
like,
great. That's
so,
some beautiful. That's great. That's good. Some great advice, for your grandfather to give.
Yeah.
I'm gonna live up to that advice. I like that. I'm gonna take that advice.
I'm trying
That's
every
dope.
day.
I see you doing it. I see you out there. You out there making moves out here in Sacramento. I love it. I love it. I'm here for it.
Thank you.
So, what mental health struggles have you personally faced on your journey, and how have you navigated them?
I would say, like, the main thing is depression. Just and for me, it's like I can't necessarily say a day-to-day thing. It's kind of like a week, more for me, like a week-to-week kind of thing. Because, like, there's some weeks where it's like everything is like, I'm in a great mood. Like, I'm just like, everything is going well. Like, I have no worry. Like, but also, like, another thing is, like, what I've come to notice is, like, I get distractions kind of block a lot of these thoughts.
Yeah.
So, like, when I'm busy, when I have a lot of stuff going on, when I have stuff to look forward to,
right,
I'm not really worried about all the things that's on my brain, and I'm not, like, my mind's not racing as much.
Right.
Because it's like, I have a duty, I have a job, that I have things that I'm crossing off my list.
Right.
So, but when those times when none of that is happening and it's just me, and I'm just like, that's when things start to seep in, and that those voices come back, and that darkness comes back. And that's been, like, the main issue that I deal with.
Yeah.
Is, like, that voice telling me that you're gonna fail. That voice telling me you're not worth it. That voice telling me, you're this, you're that.
Right.
And that's what I'm battling.
Right.
That's the type of things that I'm battling. And that's, like, been one of the main things. But also, like, anxiety.
Right.
That's another thing, like, just feeling like I'm on the edge, feeling like I can't sit down, feeling like I can't rest,
right,
feeling like I don't have the grace to do that. And like this is all the mind playing tricks on us.
Right.
The mind is so powerful, and, like, that's something that, like, I'm, like, battling, like, and so many of us are doing the same thing. So that's what I deal with on a personal level. And like I said, it's not always like that.
Right.
Like, these things, these thoughts, they come and go.
Yeah.
It's it may be days, it may be here for a month, like, months may go by where I'm not feeling none of these thoughts, weeks, whatever. But, like, these are things that, like, I deal with, on, a time-to-time basis,
Right.
So I try my best to, like, keep it going. Really, like, what helps me is, like, knowing that, I have, it's purpose. Purpose is like what keeps me is, like, grounded.
Absolutely.
It's like I have a reason to keep going. I have a reason to wake up every morning, and, like, that is, like, what kind of, like, does it for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's dope. You do
Yeah.
have a purpose. You
Yeah.
are, and you're shining, shining bright out here in Sacramento. You're definitely a light force for everybody out here, especially through your music and just your whole vibe. So thank you for showing up, because
thank you.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So talking about purpose-driven artistry, your music blends raw emotion with storytelling. How do you balance being vulnerable in your art with protecting your own peace?
It's something I'm learning.
Right.
I'm learning. I talk to some people and they're like, sometimes I think, like, they're like, oh, your music is like super vulnerable. Sometimes I feel I say too much, but also, like, the way I balance that is like going back to that purpose.
Right.
There's people who need to hear that.
Yes.
Even if like what I'm saying is something I necessarily don't want people to know, or like I want to hold it in, I want to keep holding it in and like bottle it in. There's someone who needs that.
Absolutely.
There's a kid that doesn't have, a way to express themselves. There's like someone out there who, what one word, one phrase is like everything that they're going through at that moment. And like that brings me back to the purpose. This is something I have to do.
Right.
I have a reason.
Oh, I love that.
It's bigger than me.
Yes.
And like that's something that I've learned on the journey with music. Like when I first started, it wasn't, I didn't have any expectations. I didn't know if anyone was gonna listen to it. I didn't know if my family was gonna listen to it. But I was like, it was something I wanted to give a shot.
Right.
I wanted to try something out, because at the time I didn't know what my purpose was. I was just trying different things to find what brought me joy, what brought me peace inside.
Yes.
And like music was that. I found that in music. So and through time, when there's certain times where it feels like this is a job. It feels like this is like, you kind of like lose that sometimes.
Yeah.
You get lost on the journey of like trying to keep up with others, like looking at, we're human beings.
Right.
So naturally there's some times where you're like looking on with social media and stuff like that. You're looking at what other people are doing and it's like, oh, I'm not doing enough, or this like these things happen, and it's like I always try to bring myself back.
Right.
To the reason why I started it in the first place. And it was like, for me, growing up, Tupac did that for me. J. Cole did that for me. Those are artists who I listened to, and they changed the way I thought. Like, the words that they said, music is so powerful, and it's like the words that they were saying, like, changed the way I thought on my day-to-day. Like, it helped me, like crying to a song.
Yes.
That's a thing. That's a whole thing in its own. And like, those are two artists who I've done that. The things that they said has affected me in such a way. And it's like, if I can do that for the next person who needs that, then the job, that's my purpose here on earth.
I love that. I love that, because you got music that does that. Because I've listened to your music and have felt that. I definitely have felt that, and it has brought me to a place to where, like you said, like those Tupac and J. Cole, if you cry to their music, your music has made me cry just thinking, and you have that power, and I love that. I love that for you. It's all your purpose, like you said. That's dope. So you said you want to use your platform to inspire change. What does that look for you when it comes to mental health and advocacy?
I definitely like going forward. So I told myself, like, I've been working on an album for 4 years now.
Yes.
I plan on it. I plan on releasing it at the beginning of next year. I think it's about ready. Like it's not done, but it's like I'm locking in on it. Like it's almost finished, like with the recording process and all that. But I plan on releasing it next year. And I like lately the last few months, that's all I've been like really focused on. And I feel like this is my most vulnerable project. This is my most like I put everything into it, and like this one, like if you've never listened to anything that I've said or put out, this next one is like the one where I want, like, looking back, as an older man, to like look back and be like, I did this. This next one is like that one for me, and that's like that's the kind of like inspiration. Like if I could leave anything, any kind of like legacy, anything, is like telling people you're worth it.
Yes.
Telling people, like letting like kids know, like really it's the kids for me.
Right.
Because it's like when I was young, I didn't have nobody to like go to.
Right.
And like, really like tell them how I felt, or had no one that could relate to how I felt. So like that's the kind of like thing that I want to like leave. The impact that I want to leave, is like letting someone know that there's someone that feels exactly how I feel.
Absolutely.
And like knowing that that's out there.
Yes.
I'm not alone in this, and like that's really it. That's really like
that's
all I want to do is like
I love it.
Yeah.
So your this next album deals with a lot of mental health issues.
Definitely.
I love that.
It's I feel it's a therapy session in audio form.
I love that.
Even
because,
though
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, even though I've never been to a therapy session, like a proper therapy session yet, I want this to be what, like, I wanna have this whole thing like finished. I wanna be able to listen to it and then go to my first therapy session.
I love that.
And see if I captured it right. I want this to basically be what I would think a therapy session would be.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because that goes into my next question. Do you see your music as therapy?
Oh yeah.
I love that.
I hope it helps.
Yes.
That's purpose for me. It's like, it goes back to the purpose.
Right.
It's like I hope that someone can take and relate to anything, and like it will show them like, I'm not alone.
Right.
Like that's really, we all want to belong to something. We all want to, we all have gifts. We all have, all these things, but there's a piece of us that we want to be a part of like a community. We want to be a part of like, what we got. We want to find our community and hold on to that.
Absolutely.
And like I feel like music is so powerful and it brings us together. And like I do think like music is healing, and I feel like some of the stuff I've said has definitely like, hopefully has inspired someone and helped someone on their journey.
Yes.
And like that's all I want to do going forward.
Yes.
And like I said, I've been doing it in music for 4 years now, a short amount of time, and like I feel even in this short amount of time, like I have a lot of music out.
Yeah.
And I've tried different things. I don't always rap about, mental health. I try different things and like different kind of like styles and all these kind of things, and just getting better as an artist,
right?
Like as a music artist. But going forward, especially with the world that we're living in right now,
yes,
I feel as an artist, it is our duty to. Hip hop started as a way for us to get the message out.
Absolutely.
As a way for us to tell what is going on in our communities. And like going forward, that's all I want to do.
I love that.
I feel like, with social media and like a lot of people are like trying to like go viral, or a lot of people are trying to make music, what they think people want to hear.
Right.
And it's like we're losing the art. We're
Mm-hmm.
losing the meaning behind why all this started.
Okay, so that's pretty much tying into my next question. We'll move on to community and culture. So, as an artist from Sacramento, how do you think the city has influenced your creative expression and mental resilience?
Wow, this Sacramento is like so beautiful in like so many ways. Like it feels like we're like a big little city. Like we're all kind of like connected, and like everybody, like if you know this person, like they
Right.
know this person. It's like all kind of like connected in some way. And I feel like here there's so many different art forms and people finding ways to express themselves. And like what I'm seeing like right now, and like what even my music is going towards, is like talking about, what's going out of our own little worlds, and talking about what's going on out out of us, outside, like looking outside of that scope.
Right.
Cause there's so much like, with what the president is doing, and like,
Right.
just worldwide, like there's, people dying, people like, sleep doesn't have a roof over their head.
Yes, crazy.
People don't got clothes on their back, and it's like, you know, people don't have the support that they need as a human being.
Right.
And it's like we have to get back to, because music is so powerful, and because about 99% of people listen to some sort of music.
Yes.
I feel as an artist, like we have to do that. We have to speak on more than what we see.
Right.
More than like what we see around us. Because it's like I said, music can change the way you think. Music can change the way you move. Music can change the way, you process things.
Yes.
Music, it can be a spark for so much.
Yes.
And it's like, that's what I want going forward. All my music going forward is to like help.
Help.
That's all it comes down to is help. I want to like show and like not just like help like a listener, but show and inspire my fellow artists.
Yes.
Like this is what we gotta do, y'all. Like
Yes.
we have a voice. We have, people that look up to us, and it's like if we can come together and like speak on these issues and these situations that's going on, like there's so much that can be changed.
Yes.
In this system.
Yes.
And like I said at the beginning of this year, I had like a deep like sit down with myself, and I just like I said, I just started writing out goals and things I wanted to change for me. And like one of those things was forming stronger bonds with the people that I see that are next to me, not looking up and like trying to reach
Right.
the build with the people that I have side by side with me.
Yes.
And it's like, we're all we got, so it's like we have to keep that going. And like right now I really want to give a very big shout out to Hayla V. She was like one of the main people. She has a song that she's been performing that is like speaking on a lot of the
world issues. Absolutely.
And
yes.
it inspired me in a lot of ways. And I really sat down with myself, and I'm like, I like my music is a lot about mental health and my own issues, but I really want to start speaking more about what other people are going through.
Right.
Because this is a human being issue.
Right.
You know,
That part.
we're all going through this on top of the mental health issues that we have.
Yes.
We're fighting poverty, we're fighting police brutality, we're fighting, you know, there's so much going on, war and you know, and I just want, you know, I feel like as an artist we have a lot of power.
Yes, we do.
And that's the goal. That's where I'm like going forward, is like speaking up more and where I can.
Yes.
Doing what I can.
Right.
You know, doing my part. You know, so yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. That's kind of similar to this question. So what role do you think local artists and creators play in shifting the culture around mental health?
I think we have probably the biggest role there is.
Right.
Like music, as like not just like for music specifically, it is like super popular.
Right.
Like I said, everybody listens to something.
Some sort of music, right?
So it's like no matter the genre, no matter like what it is, like the people always have those earbuds in. So it's like music is like
speaking life into people.
Yeah.
It's like you're speaking life back into people.
Yeah.
Who are struggling.
Yeah. So it's like that we already have the voice from that.
Yeah.
So it's like now I feel it's time for us to like figure out like what changes do we want to see?
Right.
What do we see as possible?
Yes.
You know, because if we don't change, nothing is gonna change.
Right.
If we don't make the necessary steps, then everything is gonna stay the same.
Right.
And it's like there's so much more that can be done. There's so much more that we can do just in ourselves, one by one. And one by one, we're chopping things off brick by brick.
Right.
You know, breaking things down one by one.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, I feel like as an artist, and it doesn't even have to be just music. You know, if you paint, you know, if you know, building that community, and like we're able to fight back.
Yes.
We're able to fight back against the system that tears us down all the time, you know. So like that's where, you know, I feel like that's where I want to move.
Yes.
Like that's where I'm looking towards, is like just trying to keep using my voice as a weapon. Use my voice as, you know, it already has a purpose, but give it more light, and like let people know that you know, it's possible to like create change for ourselves.
Absolutely.
So
I love that.
Yeah.
And that is our duty, you know, all of us coming together here in this studio, you know, we're all our different artists and have our own art form, but we're still coming together. We're coming together, you know, bringing more awareness to mental health. We just seen each other at a show a couple days ago, you know, just creating those safe spaces for all of us to make that change. And like you said, it is our duty to be able to, you know, create those safe spaces, but also use our voice to be able to create change in the system that's, you know, that got a lot of people down. So that's dope. So legacy and impact. You've achieved some powerful milestones, from NPR's Tiny Desk standout entries to Harlow's. Which moment reminded you of why you do this?
I would say, if I was to pick one specific thing, it would probably be when I performed at elementary school.
Oh, okay.
In East Palo Alto. There was a lot of like kids who had never seen live music before.
Oh, wow.
And they were like to see them like really like engage and like light up and like get involved with the performance and like actually listen to what I was saying was it really reminded me like words are very powerful.
Yes.
Words are everything, and people are listening.
Yes.
Kids are listening.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, sometimes we get, you know, like you with social media, it has messed up a lot of our attention spans, all of us.
Yeah.
Like everything's so fast paced and like, a lot of we're all always on the go and like everything is like fast, fast, fast. So like when you get those moments where people like to have a kid sit for 30 minutes like really attentively like listening and hearing everything you're saying, like that reminded me of the reason why I started.
Oh,
It the reason why I started was to like give people hope.
yes.
Let people know like you're not alone. Like that was everything for me. Because as I said before, Tupac and J. Cole did that for me.
Yes.
Before I even like thought about writing a rhyme, like listening to them told me that there's someone out there that is thinking the same exact way, is going through the same exact things that I'm going through. They just live in a different area,
Right.
had a different, but it's a, the core is still there.
Yes.
So I would say like if I was to pick one moment, it would definitely be when I performed for the kids
That's
at
beautiful.
the school.
Yes.
Because like it just showed me like they soak it up. Like they soak up everything, like, they're sponges. So like,
yes.
It's it's that's one of the reasons why I'm like everything that I say, everything that I want to come out of my mouth, it has to mean something.
Yes.
I have to have a reason of saying it, because like I feel if no one else, if there's no other artists that feel, if there's other artists that feel, they don't have a duty, I have a duty.
Yes.
That's what I'm gonna live by.
I love that.
So that's yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh wow, that's cool that you
Yeah.
got to do that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, if you could speak directly to someone who's in a dark place right now, what would you want them to hear through your music? And you're looking at that camera.
Cool.
No, the front one. What would you tell them?
I would say that, even though, like for this album that I've been working on, this next one, it basically the whole album is about the journey of coming out of a hole, of whatever hole that you're in, whether it be depression, anxiety, like whatever is plaguing you, whatever issue is there. It's showing the journey. So it's showing the times where you have to sit in that darkness. It's showing the times where it's not just the light there. Like eventually it gets to that by the end. But in order to get to that, you have to go through those dark moments. And like I basically would just say like keep living.
Yes.
Like, it's you have, even though it may not seem like it, each one of us has a purpose, has a reason to be here. And like, we have a gift.
Yes.
That is we were born with. There's love there. We each have a soul, and like our soul is love. You're loved.
Yes.
And like, I know at times it may not feel like it. At times it may feel like no one cares. At times it may feel like no one is there. At times it may feel like you don't have no one you can call, no one you could talk to. But, I feel like it's important to remember like all the good things and all the love that is surrounding you, and like lean on, those things at those dark times. Like look at, whether it be your family, whether it be your pet, whether it be, whatever that is for you. But I would say like if you can take whatever time you need to like sit and find what that is for you, and what helps you out, and what keeps your mind clear, and hold on to that. And you know that's what you're gonna need through those dark nights, you know. And like whatever method, whatever thing it is, like hold on to that, and like, you know, it's gonna be all right, you know.
Yes.
Even though, you know, this mental thing, it takes a big toll, and it's a war, but at least, like, you know, you fighting that battle, you made it through that battle, you made it to that next day.
Yes.
And you know, we may have to fight again, but you know, we day by day,
You're gonna
you
get
know,
stronger.
take your time with it, and eventually, you know, yeah, you're gonna get stronger. There's a song on the album,
Yep.
at the end, called Stronger.
I love that.
And it's talking about the pain made me, you know, made me stronger.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's dope. That's
Yeah.
dope. So let's switch gears. Thank you so much. That was amazing. I just love doing these interviews and being able to get to know people a little more intimate, and that's an amazing journey for you, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Thank you.
So let's switch gears. Do you have any events coming up? You mentioned your project, this new project coming up. So I'm excited for that. But do you have any other events coming up? I know you do. I seen your calendar.
Yeah, I have a lot of like shows coming up over the next few months. I'm doing I like I said, I want to start working. My goal this year was to work a lot with, like, you know, individuals who I've never had the chance to work with yet.
Okay.
You know, so, and do things in like venues and
A lot of
places that
collabs.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, I have like I don't really do too many house shows. So
Okay.
I have a few house shows coming up. And I'm also like I'm doing a show. So I'm putting together like a new band.
Okay.
I'm forming a new band. We actually have our first rehearsal tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, we're gonna do our first show as the full band coming up next month at
Nice.
the Starlit Room.
Okay.
And then yeah, a lot of shows coming up through the end of the year. But the main thing that like I said, I've been focused on is this new album that I've been working on. I'm just trying to like really finish it up, because I have a clear plan for it. I have I wanna do like a release show,
Okay.
a 2-night release show for it, where night one is not even me performing the album. It's like a listening party, not really a party, but an experience, a community listening. So I'm not even gonna perform the album. I'm just gonna play it, and song by song, like, tell you what the song is about, and we all discuss it, because like this is not an album just for me, it's for us.
I'm down for it. I'm going to that one. I want to go to that one for
Yeah.
sure. The more intimate. Yes. I want to
Yeah.
know the behind the scenes of every song of yours. I definitely do. I'm all for it.
Yeah, so I want to do that for like night one, and then night two would be like an actual like performance experience, where I perform with the, you know, live instrumentation and, you know, the whole nine. But yeah, I'm like planning a lot of like events and stuff. Like I want to start doing a lot of my own events, like putting together my own shows, and like really, cause, you know, like I said, I feel like as an artist who has had, I'm like super grateful for the opportunity to perform at so many different venues
Right.
and have so many experiences. But there's a lot of artists who I feel are so super talented, but they don't really get a chance.
Yeah.
They don't get opportunities to showcase their art. So what I want to do is I want to start, if there's places or venues or like promoters who aren't giving people those opportunities, I feel like I want to start giving people those
Okay.
opportunities. So I want to start doing my own shows, where it may be an artist who it's their first show, or first like full set,
Nice.
and they're opening for artists who maybe does shows every month.
Yeah.
You know, like bring those two together and like let this artist get a chance to showcase themselves, but with an artist who, you know, has a lot of support and people who come out all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you know, give another artist an opportunity to get started.
Yeah.
Because there's, you know, when I first started, there was a select few places that I could go to, and it's like, you know, a lot of the places that I used to go to are closed now.
Yeah.
You know, and there's like a select few now that I go to, but I want to start doing my own thing and throwing my own thing to give more artists opportunities to showcase their art.
That's amazing.
You know? Yeah.
No, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything you want to share now? You got some bars for us?
Bars? Yeah. I could. I can do an acapella of one of the songs that I've been working on. It's on the next album.
So nobody's heard it.
I've performed it. I haven't performed the actual song, but I've done it like over like at jam sessions.
Oh, okay.
Like the verse.
Okay.
It's called Questions, and
Okay.
it's about it's literally just me asking questions. So, it goes, am I wrong to try to hurt myself? Do they really feel the pain that I felt? All the things I was dealt. My name is hot, but do they want me to melt? I feel ashamed when I'm asking for help. Do they want me around? Do they notice that it's harder to smile? I've been bullied since I was just a child. Mine sting to the ground. I bet it up. These people look at me now. I'm a king. They ain't taking my crown. Do they like me for me? Do they like what they see? Do they really see potential in the things I could be? When I'm locking up my heart, where they find me a key? I wore a mask to hide my lies. I never needed a ski. Do they know that I struggle? Problems triple and double. Do they know just how I feel when there's no one that love you? Can they help you see your light when you stuck in a tunnel? Will they help me get back up when I tumble and fumble? Doctor, take this pain all away. I'm trying to make it to another day. Tell me, should I leave? Should I stay? Doctor, take this pain all away. How much time I got left on this earth till I take my last breath? Why I'm scared of the concept of death. All the demons they crept. While sometimes I find it hard to accept that they truly do care how I felt. Can I right all my wrongs? Do they care I put my heart in these songs? Will they listen to my art when I'm gone? Will they hear all along? Do they question if I truly belong? When I fall, can I still stand strong? Will I find true love? Will I always feel stuck in the mud? I got some friends way closer than blood. All these feelings, they flood. I'm all heart and leaking out of my cuts. I just hope to be free as it does. I'm trying to find who I was. Dear God, what is on your plans? A helping hand. Tell me where they extend. Who is really my friend? Guess we'll see who be here in the end. Guess we'll see who be here in the end. Yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm so excited for this project to come through. Thank you so much. Wow. Jakhari Smith, y'all. Jakhari Smith is in the building. So where can people find you? Jakhari Smith?
Yeah, Jakhari Smith, all platforms. I just recently made my own website.
Okay.
So yeah, www.jakharismith.com.
That's what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so I'm trying to like flood everything to find other ways, because another thing that I didn't really touch on too much is like these platforms like Spotify and Apple Music. It's not really artist centered, you know. Artists really get the butt end when it comes to those platforms, you know. Like every one person like listen to a song is like not even a penny. It's less than a penny, you know, that we make, and we're putting the art out. You know, we have to, you know, take the time to write the songs. We have to get the producer. We have to get the engineer. We put the music visuals together.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, artists, you know, are getting the last end, but we're feeding this platform.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm trying to funnel things to my own platforms and like creating my own, you know, ways of like, you know, getting more artist centered things.
Right.
And there's so many people doing that. La Russell is one of those artists who, you know, with even biz, you know, is a pay what you want kind of thing, like, you know. And it's like, that's kind of like where I'm like moving is like more artist centered things, more
Nice.
artist centric, you know, to give more power back to the artists.
I love
you
that.
know, instead of like giving our energy to these other platforms
Okay.
that are like giving us the scraps.
Yeah.
When we're if it wasn't for us, these platforms wouldn't be able to thrive.
Yeah.
You know, so that's but yeah, Jakhari Smith is where you could find me. On, you know, I have a YouTube channel, my own YouTube channel where I upload my videos and visuals. But in Instagram is my main my main social media that I'm use.
Okay.
But yeah, Jakhari Smith on everywhere.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Check
Thank you for
yourself,
having
check
me.
your mental health, like, subscribe, comment. Check out Jakhari Smith. He's floating around here in Sacramento and surrounding areas. His music is going, and I can't wait for that next project and the 2 days, 2 night series of the release of your album. I can't wait. So thank you so much.
Thank you.